Well, we have live team coverage of this latest winter storm. Ice hit Henderson County hard. It brought down trees and power lines and coated the roads, which are very slick. News 13's Hope Hanselman is live in downtown Hendersonville. And Hope, how are the drivers getting around at this hour?
Well, Victoria, we can give you a picture now of really the best conditions we've seen all morning as we see more of these cars pass by over the roads here on Main Street in downtown Hendersonville. We're seeing the ice really start to react with the treatment DOT crews spent so many hours working on here, and we're really starting to see that melt. Now, those crews are out now, even with salt and sand trucks, treating those roads again because they certainly are not out of the woods yet. But in more rural parts of the county and some secondary roads, getting around is much more difficult. Broyles Road was closed to dozens of drivers because of this tree that came down and blocked the roadway. It took some active power lines with it and caused a fire that was contained just to the branches and the trunk. But neighbor Tim Rudisell says he heard that tree come down as early as 2:30 this morning.
I walked over to the window and looked through the blinds, and it was throwing sparks and flames out from the live wire still. And then it kind of calmed down after that, but I was still concerned, so I called the power company about it.
And certainly a very dangerous situation that was. Duke Energy did finally make it out there at about 10:30 to fix the situation. They've been kept busy all morning with that layer of ice that covered everything and weighed down on those power lines. Back out here live, temperatures are still very cold, and that's a concern, especially in some shady areas where trees may be covering and the sun may be touching. You will find some slick spots as you go out and about this morning, so please be careful, drive a little slower, and keep some distance between you and the car in front of you. Live in Hendersonville, I'm Hope Hanselman at News 13.
And roads are still slick in many places around Henderson County, even though some main streets look like they're melting. News 13's Hope Hanselman has been bringing us live updates from Hendersonville all morning long. And Hope, what's it looking downtown right now?
You know, we had plenty of people out this morning, business owners, plows, working really hard to scrape all that ice off the streets. They did a great job here on Main Street in downtown Hendersonville. And as we see the sun start to come up, we're seeing more people coming out and about, but you can see it here. The sun is creating a really slick layer on top of that ice, and it is a really thick layer of ice that we had all morning. We do have a look back at what we saw this morning. We saw this morning where roads were so slick, we saw some cars having trouble around turns. Secondary roads were left as a last priority to DOT crews, and they were by far the most dangerous and still may be covered in ice. Certainly not safe to drive on right now until you see that ice start to melt away. DOT trucks first focus on interstates, big intersections, and main thoroughfares. They're still out with salt and sand right now. But back out here live, temperatures are very cold. Once again, I do want to show you this before we leave you. Something very cool with all of this ice around here. You can just pick it right off of these leaves, and it's a perfect ice leaf. It's like art out here. So one way to enjoy it as you're staying safe, hopefully with the family, not venturing out on those slick roads. Live in Hendersonville, Hope Hanselman, News 13.